All right. I never said nothing bad
You're
about
soft,
you.
boy, so you better not get my mouth. My name better not ever come out of your mouth. And you record me because that's what cowards do. I'm confronting you like a
Y'all
man.
are recording. I'm recording.
I'm not
That's
recording
fine.
shit, bro.
I'm recording shit,
I'm a
you
man.
bitch.
Just like a fucking punk. Just like I confronted Johnny and I confronted Furry. Like a man.
A little
Okay?
bitch.
I don't go talking shit about anybody.
Help me, help me.
I've been
help
doing
me.
this for a long time and I've helped a lot of people, and you included. Why don't you tell everybody how I helped you for a
So
whole
we're going
year?
to have a chat tonight about High Desert Community Watch. I've been saying for a while now that I was going to sit down and do a couple of videos. I've got people asking me about who got me demonetized, who's been attacking me, all this stuff. They want to know what's going on. And typically I don't participate in drama and all of that stuff, but I said I was going to go ahead and talk about each of the people that are involved in this, and I'm going to do it. Each one is going to get their own video. So tonight we're going to start with High Desert Community Watch.
Okay.
Now I helped Philip, that's High Desert, get started back when he first got started. I mean, when he would get in trouble, his son was on the phone to me. When Philip had a question, he was on the phone to me. I tried to teach him how to do things the right way. I gave him tons and tons of support. And, apparently that support was not appreciated. So, Patrick, tell us how you got started when you were first doing audits before you met me, before I came along. Who was coaching you? Who was coaching you on how to do audits?
Okay. So when I started doing audits, High Desert Community Watch, he was kind of a bigger name in the community. And so he had reached out to me, and I guess I wanted to get a little bit of advice from him because I really didn't know much at the time. And, I really didn't have a lot of connection in the community. And so I really didn't know, what was the best way to do this or how do you do that. So I would ask High Desert Community Watch for advice. And, I didn't necessarily agree with it because I didn't know best at the time. But, he would tell me that, when you go somewhere to basically have someone call the police on you, and 9 out of 10 times, he would be the one calling the police on me. And I just thought that's how you did it, because he was telling me that's how he did it. So basically how he put it to me is he would say, go somewhere. And then when you get there, tell me what you're wearing and that. And then High Desert would call the police department. At first, a couple years ago, it was probably 3 years ago, I was iffy about it. I didn't agree with it. And I quit doing it because it wasn't right. But that's how High Desert said you're supposed to do it. And, now I know, or I figured that out a long time ago, that's not how you do it. But that's...
And who was it that set you straight on that was the wrong thing to be doing?
You did?
Yeah. Do you recall my exact words when you told me that that's how y'all did it? Do you remember exactly what I said to you?
Well,
was it something along the lines of, are you... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, whenever I told you about it, you was just, you was infuriated. You was mad. You said, no, that's fucking stupid. That's not how you do it. You said something along those lines. But I didn't know any better, because that's how High Desert did it, and he had a lot of followers. And, Felipe Hemming would do the same thing. Felipe Hemming would call in on High Desert, and, that's how he got his wife's business. Felipe would call in on High Desert. High Desert would get arrested, and then Krista would have a case. It's like one big group of individuals.
Well, I don't know about all of that. I do know after I talked to you and you told me that, he was calling in on you and that's how he did things and whatnot, I called him and had a long chat with him about that. And he didn't see a problem with it. He saw no issue with it. Now, me personally, I think it's wrong. Yeah, I think I think that's cheating. I think that's not an audit, okay? Because you're stacking everything against you, or against the police. I think that the proper thing to do is you go out, you do your business, you do what you're doing, and if they come, they come, and if they don't, well, then they're doing the right thing. But
well, and that's the thing. just let me say this. When I figured out High Desert was doing that, you know, I was kind of iffy about it. I said, okay, I was, you know, I wasn't all the way all for it. I would never call the police on myself. It would always be High Desert Community Watch would be calling on me. And then a lot of times, if High Desert was busy, Felipe Hemming would call the police. He would say, hey, you know, you have a guy out here wearing a shirt with a video camera recording. I think he's suspicious. Can you go check him out, please? You know, I live here and I don't like what he's doing. And that's how High Desert was trying to teach me.
Well, you know, when it becomes a case of I want the YouTube money, I want the clicks and views, I want the YouTube fame, when it becomes, hey, Patrick, you need to mute your mic. You're too loud. Patrick, you got too much background noise because you're moving. Okay. You know, when it becomes about the clicks and views, when it becomes about the clicks and the views and about the YouTube ad money and not about civil rights and doing the right thing. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being monetized. I have no issue with that. Okay. As long as you're doing it right. But if you're after the clicks and views and you're doing shady stuff to get those, then that's wrong. That's wrong. And, you know, when I was monetized, I had some links in my video descriptions for people to donate to me for, but I didn't ask anybody to do it. Okay. If they wanted to do it, that was up to them. That's fine. But I didn't promote it or ask for it. But, you know, there are people such as High Desert that are making, you know, somewhere around $15,000 a month in YouTube ad revenue money. Okay. And they're still telling people donate, donate, donate. And what they're getting for that is, you know, is just money. But let me look here on Social Blade and let's take a look at what High Desert is making off of, just off of YouTube here. Let's see. So there's his Social Blade page. And I can tell you Social Blade is generally about 3/4 right. So if it says you're making $1, you're probably making 75 cents or 80 cents right in there. So let's look at what it says. Let me get this, and there we go. So he's making close to $15,000 a month. A month, $15,000 a month. Almost over $170,000 a year. And still, you know, that's not enough for him. He's still out there trying to get people to donate. I mean, they could be donating money to activists that actually need that money. Instead, they're sending it to him. And what do we got here? You know, this is his GoFundMe. He's got $40,000 in his GoFundMe. You know, but is he bailing people out of jail? You know, when I was monetized, I was making people's bond. I paid, oh man, let's see, whose bond have I made? Buck T's bond. I've helped with, let me think. Man, I've made several people's bonds. I can't even think now, but Pink Camera Magic, CJ Grisham, you know, the list goes on. There are people who couldn't make rent. I paid their rent. There are people who needed money because they had financial emergencies. Their lights were getting cut off, or, you know, they had a fire at their house and they had to relocate. And I gave them money, donated them money. I did that not because I had to. I did it because I was helping the community. I was helping the community. I've sent people equipment. You know, I've spent thousands of dollars on equipment that I've donated to other activists. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm making a point. When was the last time High Desert sent money to anybody or equipment to anybody? I mean, I see him making all these trips to Las Vegas. I mean, he's hanging out in Vegas a lot, but he's not bringing back any videos. So, you know, what's he doing with that $15,000 a month? A month. And
Strippers
that
on
doesn't
the
even
day.
account. And that doesn't even account for, okay, I haven't even gone into the settlement he just got off of San Bernardino County for the probation officer incident. You know, there are a lot of, you know, according to, now he was intoxicated when he said it, okay, but I got an activist that called me and told me that he heard it straight from High Desert, that they got a substantial amount of money, something on the order of $450,000 for that case. Now, I've seen documents that dispute that.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen documents that say otherwise, okay, but, you know, are those documents real? I sent one of those documents to the lawyer that handled the San Bernardino case, and there's a gag order on the case, and so he says that he can't comment on it. However, he did tell me that the document that I sent to him, that I had forwarded him, which by the way was published by, I believe, Felipe Hemming, you know, so that would violate. Yeah, I'm not. I believe it was posted by him, but I could be wrong. Like I said, it was forwarded to me with somebody else by screenshot, and who knows.
Hey,
but
David.
they say that number is not accurate. That paper was falsified. So until somebody I trust goes and pulls the document and it has the settlement on it, okay, because this is a confidential settlement, it's not supposed to show up until somebody can show me documentation. Otherwise, you know, that's a large hunk of money. Now, he did say he had to give half of that to Krista Hemming for handling the case for her, so which is typical. That's not uncommon. I'm just hoping that the Hemmings will save that money, put it in the bank, you know, for dealing with my settlement when I bring suit against them. But that's another story. What were you saying, Patrick?
Even $200,000, that's a lot of money. Why would he need donations?
Well, and it's not even about that. Like I said, it's the clicks and views. You know, $15,000 a month, over $170,000 a year, and he claims to be homeless. If I had $170,000 a year, dude, I'm not going to be homeless.
Let me say the story. So when I first ran into High Desert, and I've only met High Desert in person one time, and that was in San Antonio. But you know, when we used to talk on the phone, you know, before I met you, David, he had told me a while ago, and this was when, you know, he was still making probably $8,000 to $10,000 a month on YouTube. He was telling me he was homeless and he was doing odd jobs to make ends meet, but he was making, you know, over $120,000 a year. How is he homeless, you know, making all this money? You know, I'm not gonna speculate, but I think in that aspect of things, if he tells people he's homeless, he might get more donations.
So yeah, it's all about clicks and views and bringing in the money and all that. But you know, and he can prove us wrong. He can show his analytics page. It shows how much money he makes each month. You know, he can show that and prove us wrong. And if he shows that and it's not right, I'll gladly apologize and say that I was wrong. But I know that Social Blade is usually about 3/4 accurate. So he's making close to $15,000 a month and, you know, over $170,000 a year. I mean, I believe that is an accurate number, and that he plays broke and plays, you know, like, you know, on people's pity for the donations and all of that that's just, it's not right. It's not right. And he should be, you know, he talks about he's all for the community, yet he's not making people's bonds. He's not donating equipment and money to people. You know, he's banking into that money and, you know, doing whatever he does with it. I mean, maybe he blows it on, I don't, gambling in Vegas. I don't know. And I'm not alleging he does that. I'm just saying that, you know, what he does with his money is his business. But
yeah,
when he participates along with Felipe Hemming and some other people that I'll get around to those videos, when he participates with them to get me demonetized, okay, that's wrong. That's wrong. And I'm going to call it out. And that's just what I'm doing here. It's not that I'm mad, because I'm not. It is what it is. I have other sources of income now because I'm smart with my money, and I will continue to audit, and I'll continue to do other things, and that'll be coming in the very near future.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's funny. You know, Manson Merb's group attacks me because they say that I, you know, I'm guilty of whatever. You know, and even though that nothing's been adjudicated yet, and I haven't even been formally charged. Okay, I haven't been charged with a crime yet. And they pick on Patrick because of that video that he and Selena made, which was in bad taste. It was a bad idea, but they were just going to use that to troll the Merb bunch. And, you know, they pick on me and they pick on Patrick because they say Patrick beats all women, which is bullshit. But here's the thing. Just a few months ago, there was an allegation when Foxy and High Desert Community Watch were living together. There was an altercation between her and him. And she alleged, I don't have any verification of this, okay, but I did talk to High Desert about it, but she alleged that he anal raped her, beat her, and then smashed up her car. Now, this was all going around. She had videos out for a minute about it. And it was posted in a lot of places. But anytime anybody posted any comment about it or question about it to High Desert's videos, he would delete their comments and block them. And San Joaquin Valley.
That's because it slows down his money.
San Joaquin Valley Transparency and him were bumping heads because Ida hooked up with him, was running around with him for a while, and there were issues there. So, and you know, in the end, High Desert and San Joaquin got buddy again via Hemming, you know, because San Joaquin's all big buddies with Hemming, hoping for a lawsuit and some big money, but, you know, or whatever. But they marginalized her. And Merb and his bunch, they don't say a word about how she was abused and how High Desert did it. Merb just loves High Desert. He's done videos praising High Desert, you know. And here's a guy, they're always talking about, you got to believe the victims. Victims don't lie. But are they believing Foxy? Are they standing by Foxy? No, they're standing by High Desert. We talk about hypocrites.
They have selective victims. They pick and choose their victims.
Well, it's all about who they want to attack. It's all about who they want to attack and you know, take down and stuff. That's what it's about.
Oh yeah, I get phone calls and emails that say, "Hey, if you'll do it this way, we'll lay off of you and we can turn everything around for you." And I tell them, "Hey, you better just get right with Jesus. I ain't playing your game."
What'd you say, Patrick?
Pro freaks.
So Selena wants to chime in on something because she had said something to me the other day, and she was wanting to get it out there.
It was just about the whole victim narrative thing. You know, they are big, we believe victims, but here I was in the Discord, their supposed victim, telling them that I wasn't a victim, and they didn't believe me. So that's the only thing I have to say about that.
You did not fit their narrative, Selena. They have a very narrow narrative that reads only exactly the way they want it to read. You didn't fit that narrative, so they cut you out.
Well, and I will tell you that I know Selena and I know Patrick, and there is no doubt in my mind that if Patrick ever put a hand on her, Selena would turn him into a greasy spot on the sidewalk. She would beat him to a pulp.
Yeah, she's a strong girl.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
All I'd have to do is sit on him, and he'd be out.
You know, yeah, and you know, all that Merb culture over there. You know, it sickened me when I saw those pictures. I had pictures. People took screenshots of the pictures that Nomad posted of you, and they sent them over to me so that I could warn you about it. It sickened me that he took those pictures. That dude is gone. That dude is just.
He's
you know, he is just
a pervert.
Well, in the Merb Manson cult,
I couldn't even look at them.
Yeah, the Merb Manson cult thinks that's funny. They were all laughing about it and joking about it, and they just thought that was body shaming Selena. You know, talking bad about her because she's not average size. Let me tell you something. Any guy that Selena elected to get with would be lucky. She is a wonderful, wonderful person. She's gorgeous on the inside and she's gorgeous on the outside. And I think that the world of her. And for somebody to talk bad about her because she's bigger than average, that person is just stupid. That's just stupid.
Yeah. Well, look, I can put it to you this way. I have talked to Selena in private numerous times, and she's always felt open to tell me anything and everything, and she's never said anything negative in that connotation about Patrick ever.
Besides the fact that he's annoying.
Yeah, you said that.
He can be annoying.
And hey, Nomad is the one that come up with the script for them to do that. And Patrick and Selena said, hey, we decided not to post it. That's in bad taste. Let's don't do it. And then Nomad used it as a weapon against them for the propaganda. And see, the people get sucked into the whole of the Merv Manson family, and they go over there and they're indoctrinated. And they're trained how to be family members and how to protect Merv, the head, and to protect the family at all costs. That's what cults do.
Yeah, and you know, we'll get around to that. I'm not done with a lot of those people over there too. There's something special coming for Mr. Merv. I got something for him. It's coming real soon. I just got to finish up what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. I like about that much being through with some things, and then we'll see how the Merv Manson family reacts.
I'm already done. Everything's documented. Everything's ready to go. I just haven't moved forward with it yet. I haven't green-lighted the lawyer yet, but that's coming. It's coming shortly.
Hey, it's a matter of time before she.
Yeah, maybe she likes that. I saw today that Merv was body shaming Granite. He posted some stuff about Granite body shaming her. Made a fake pic of her and as the not the Joker, the Penguin. And he pasted her picture on it. You know, they think that body shaming is okay. They think that calling people names is okay. They think that being racist is okay. That's what they do. That's all they do. That's all they do. And that's why I don't have anything to do with them. I was told early on that if I didn't go over and do an interview like High Desert did with Merv, that they would come after me. And you know, I was told multiple times that they would stop as the attacks were coming. That they would stop if I would just bow down and you know, come over and do an interview with Merv. Come over there and you know, and I'm like, no, I have no interest in it. I'm not going to do it, and I never have, and I never will. And so their attacks continue. But who cares? Who cares? What does that have to do with holding the government accountable? Well, they say, well, we're holding you accountable. I've been held accountable for anything I've ever done. You know, I've been in jail. I've been, you know, been fined. I've been whatever. You know, I have met my obligations to society as I'm supposed to, and I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I continue to be that way, and I'm going to continue to be that way. Now, you know, am I the victim of targeted attacks? Absolutely, and that'll all come out in time as well. But we're getting off subject. Anyway, I'm going to do an interview with a gentleman, and I'm going to add it to my video that we're doing here tonight. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and back out of this. And just everybody that's watching this video, if you will just wait a minute, even though I'm saying goodbye, wait, there's a video interview that's going to follow this with a gentleman that pertains to what we're talking about here, which is High Desert Community Watch.